things are only going to get worse for Blake Lively from here.
I think there was a willingness on her part to consider settlement and resolving it.
There's no audience for Blake Lively. She tried to blame that all on Justin, but it was really her own doing.
All right, here's the situation. Megyn Kelly and Brian Freedman are now stepping forward together, aiming to reveal what they believe was a calculated attempt by Blake Lively to use her big red carpet appearance as a distraction from recent legal drama. One thing is clear, connections can open doors to exclusive events, but they can't instantly rebuild a damaged reputation. And as many know, lawsuits rarely end with everyone feeling satisfied.
Rarely do you see satisfaction at the end of a lawsuit. Rarely do you see, okay, gee, I got back everything I put out. Everything is now clarified. Everything is now cleaned up. You don't get that at the end of a lawsuit.
For those unfamiliar with Brian Freedman, he's known for being direct and outspoken, the type of lawyer who calls things exactly as he sees them. He has followed this dispute closely and was reportedly present when the settlement was finalized. Meanwhile, Megyn Kelly took a very different approach from the fashion media. While glossy headlines praised Blake's supposed comeback, Kelly focused on asking the tougher questions and looking beyond the glamorous surface.
Who let it dictate her life? She filed. She's the one who started this whole thing. She makes it sound like she was victimized.
To understand the timing, critics believe it's important to look at why such a high-profile fashion event became the backdrop for Blake's return to the spotlight after a no-money settlement involving Justin Baldoni. To many observers, the event is less about clothing and more about status. An international showcase where celebrities remind the world how far removed their lives are from everyday reality. If someone wanted to shift attention away from legal headlines, critics argue this would be the perfect stage to do it, and Kelly didn't hesitate to point that out.
Last night was the 2026 Met Gala, where out-of-touch elites get to show off their bizarre fashion choices.
When Blake arrived, wearing a pastel gown from Versace, the photos were undeniably stunning. But critics say the message behind the appearance felt carefully crafted. Focus on the glamour, the elegance, the perfect image. Anything except the courtroom news. By the next morning, many magazines were celebrating a comeback. Yet voices like Kelly and Freedman's continued to question whether the spotlight was being used to change the narrative rather than reflect reality.
She could not let this case go to trial. She could not let him cross-examine her. She could not take the stand. She was about to actually become Amber Heard.
Picture being part of Blake Lively's inner circle. For years, the story presented to the public was that she was bravely standing up against a powerful filmmaker. Then suddenly the legal battle starts falling apart due to lack of strong proof. What comes next? According to critics, the solution is to shift the spotlight fast. The settlement announcement with Justin Baldoni was released to the media on Monday, May 4th, the very same day as the Met Gala. While headlines spread worldwide, Blake was preparing for the red carpet with her glam team. Some call it coincidence, but others see it as a carefully timed image strategy. Baldoni's attorney, Brian Freedman, didn't hold back when asked about her red carpet appearance and openly criticized the decision.
I have no idea, whether the Met Gala had a sponsorship deal going on.
Observers argue she needed a global stage to redirect public attention, and the Met Gala offered exactly that opportunity. The settlement reportedly involved no financial payout and no admission of guilt from Baldoni, which led critics to describe it as a clean exit from the dispute. By ending the legal battle just before stepping onto one of the world's biggest red carpets, she avoided questions about an ongoing case. Yet many believe this timing is only part of a larger story.
But the genuine A-list Hollywood talent wasn't there and hasn't been there in years.
Megyn Kelly has openly challenged the narrative. Instead of seeing a woman fighting for justice, she suggests the situation reflects a carefully managed public image. Kelly argues that powerful reputations can act as a shield against criticism, and she believes Blake has mastered using that protection.
she tries to make something bad happen to her. She like insists that she has to be a victim because like something terrible's happened to her.
Kelly explains how public sympathy often works. When someone claims mistreatment, support quickly pours in. Media coverage becomes sympathetic, and critics risk backlash. According to this perspective, presenting herself as wronged made it difficult for anyone to question her claims, placing her in a position of strong public support.
She wrested his movie away from him and decided to try to hurt him with petty, made-up, out-of-context complaints.
In Kelly's view, the story has been reversed. While the public heard about Blake pushing back against powerful forces, Kelly believes behind-the-scenes actions told a different story. She points to reports of strict demands, threats to leave the film project, and intense private messages allegedly involving Ryan Reynolds. Kelly has also mocked the polished public persona Blake is known for maintaining.
She's just trying to give you the adjectives she wants you to repeat about her because she has not those things.
Megyn Kelly's point hits hard. The image being pushed is one of bravery, strength, and artistic brilliance. But critics argue that if praise has to be carefully orchestrated through public relations teams, it reflects insecurity rather than confidence. Public admiration loses meaning when it feels scripted instead of earned.
Blake Lively has just proven she does not give a damn about women. She's at the Met Gala. Full gown, looking all fresh, showing off for the cameras after she abandoned her lawsuit that was to protect and fight for women.
When the lawsuit ended, both sides released a joint message saying they supported raising awareness and helping survivors. On the surface, the wording sounded warm and supportive, but observers noticed something unusual when they looked closely at the language. The reference to survivors was reportedly added later at the request of Blake Lively and her team. Critics argue that by including that phrase, she placed her dismissed allegations into the same emotional category as genuine survivor stories. This happened even after a judge had already rejected her central claims. Freedman highlighted the irony, noting that the attention meant for real causes seemed to fade while the spotlight focused on fashion and red carpet coverage rather than meaningful support.
It's taken a toll on domestic violence survivors.
From this perspective, everything appears carefully timed. The settlement announcement, the glamorous event appearance, and the wording of the public statement. Yet, the strategy hasn't convinced everyone. A clear gap has formed between polished magazine coverage and the reaction of everyday audiences, and that contrast has become a major part of the story.
This is PR. She's trying to get back with the public, and she does look like a princess. She looks beautiful. It is stunning. She looks like a starburst. But it is very strategic that that case was settled today, and now she's at the Met Gala.
After the settlement and the Met Gala, supportive media outlets highlighted glowing photos and praised her fashion choices. They framed the situation as a mature decision that allowed everyone to move forward. For a short time, that narrative seemed to gain traction, but the response online quickly showed that audiences no longer accept polished headlines without question.
Justin Baldoni's lawyer, Freedman, had spoken with TMZ yesterday. While terms of the settlement were not disclosed, when they asked Brian if this was a win for Justin, he did tell them he felt it was a huge victory for him.
Many people followed the details closely, reviewing public records and connecting the timeline themselves. They pointed out that official filings and documented messages remain accessible, regardless of positive press coverage. Critics argue that public perception only changes if people accept the new storyline, and in this case, many did not.
After all this, she basically dropped the case, settled, no apology, nothing, and she goes to the Met. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, she's brash.
Magazine features fade quickly, but court documents remain permanently available. Anyone can read what a judge decided and why. While headlines focused on glamour, supporters of Justin Baldoni emphasized that his position was strengthened through legal decisions rather than publicity campaigns. His legal team has expressed satisfaction with the outcome, and reports suggest the settlement involved no financial payment. According to critics, the most surprising developments may still be ahead.